I bow to the divine presence with you. In today's Michelleology Involution Meditation, I'm Michelle, and I'm your motivator and your spiritual involution on this Monday, on this Make Work Monday. On this magnificent Monday, we have survived, not survived, but overcome another opportunity to create the space and place. God has provided us the avenues, the opportunities, the resolutions for our day. Don't be gloomy because it's Monday, but encourage yourself to be energized that this is a day that the Lord has made. So let's rejoice and be glad in it. Let's find our spaces and our places that we can allow ourselves to be the greatest version of ourselves. And as we begin to go into our meditation for the morning, I want to first thank Caps TV for allowing me to grace this platform. I invite you to subscribe and support my page on HAP TV, and we are growing stronger every day in this area. So today, let's get ready, set, go into a space of meditation. I always say meditation is your medication. It is preventive medicine. It allows you to set yourself and make you available to whatever you are going to face during the day. And so if God shows you trouble way off, then as you begin to meditate, the trouble is no longer trouble. It's then a resolution. So if you have a resolution for a problem, a situation, something that's going on, a fear, a doubt, then if you have a resolution, you annihilate all of that. When we have the answer, it's no longer a problem. It's no longer an issue. It's no longer a situation. And so meditation provides you that avenue to get ready, set, and to go. And so today we're going to close our eyes if you're able. We're going to breathe. First, I want you to just relax. As you examine your body, you'll find that your body is tense and you don't even know it. So, relax your shoulders, turn your neck around. Just feel yourself in a relaxed mode. Now we're going to breathe from our root chakra all the way to our crown chakra. A deep breath, hold it, and as you begin to release it, make some sound. We want to push out those toxins, those toxic thoughts, those toxic feelings, that fear, that doubt, that selfishness. Let's get ready. Again. We're holding it for a 4 count. Get ready. Now put your hand on your heart. Focus on the beat. Focus on your hand on your heart. It eliminates all thoughts in your head. Clears your mind. Gives you heart coherence. Remember, we're heart first, then we line it up with the mind. Now, you won't be thinking about anything. If you're aware and conscious of that, once you put your hand on your heart, you're not thinking about anything. You're focusing on the beat, and you're focusing on your hand touching your heart. Stay there a moment. Okay. Now this sets yourself up to be ready to receive the information from within, the instructions, the steps that God will provide for you for your day. If you started out rough today, it's okay. You can retrieve yourself. Just go somewhere. If you're not in a position to close your eyes, just go somewhere and breathe, or sit at your desk and breathe, or just take a moment to breathe. The breathing adds life to you. It gives life to your soul. And so when you deep breathe, you take yourself in a place and a space that you can create. Well, today we are going to ask you the question, do you remember? A lot of times when you hear my broadcast, you'll hear me say that we were sent here to remember, not to learn. The things that we've learned is conditioned thinking. The things that we've learned are the things that the outside interference wants to interfere with our remembering who we are and who we were before we became our spiritual being, our soul being, before we became this third dimensional flesh being. And so as we begin to do that, as we begin to learn, we've learned normal. It was never normal for us as God being, the spiritual being. That was never normal for us. But we learned that. And when we learned that, we pushed away what we remembered. So today we're going to just go back and examine our memory. Examine our memory. Examine the things that you were equipped with. Examine the things that God said to you a long time ago. Examine the things that you know about yourself. There has been a lot of things that have happened, especially within the last year, that have caused us to be fearful, to be afraid, to be depressed, to have anxiety, to feel like we're not going to make it. And so what has to happen now is that we have to get in a place in the faith where we can allow ourselves to remember. Read means to return back to. Member means to return back to your member. You are a member of God. Remember that you go back to your original state of being before you were in the womb or in the matrix, and remember, go back and be rejoined to God. It is a form of rebirth. It is a form of salvation. When you accept God and Lord Jesus, when you accept that, then you accept that you are a member of this family. You have a legacy. You are a kingdom person. You are a God being. You are in a space and a place where everything within your touch becomes, because you have God working in your favor. And so when we remember that, when we face these things that cause us to have issues, that cause us to feel just jittery or having that anxiety or worry, we have no reason to do that because we are in the greatest space of our memory. So we must remember the thing. And before you came here, you and God were intimate. Said before you got into the womb, I keep continuing to say, before you became into the womb, I knew you. Knew means to be intimacy. He got intimacy and placed me in a space of creativity. I co-create with God. I live out of the imagination of God. I I I am unlimited to the things that I can go, do, be, and have in this universe. So that should give you some energy. That should give you some power, some anointing to face your fears. Remember, fear means false energy appearing. And it's not real. And God is not giving you that spirit, but He's giving you love, power, and a sound mind. So when you begin to operate in the tools that He's giving you, not the tools He has not given you, the tools He has given to you, every good and perfect gift comes from. And from above, we're not necessarily talking about heaven. We're talking about every good and perfect gift comes from walking in the mind of God, the imagination of God. And as we begin to see that with our insight, not our eyesight, then it eliminates anxiety, fear, doubt, selfishness, resentment, jealousy, competition, and it bases you on an unconditional love. We've been prisoned, enslaved for so long in our mentality that we think that's normal. But this is the season that you wake up. This is the season that you become conscious. This is the season that the light shines on every situation that you will encounter. There is nothing that you will go through that God just gets to this day and say, oh, so Michelle is going to go through this today. He knew it before. And if he knew it before, he's going to empower you now. So stay in the now here, in that present moment that allows you to be equipped from the seed that was planted into you. Now, the seed by now should have grown. You've been broken. Every seed has to be broken. You've been broken, and everything that's within the seed is what's coming above the surface, above the things that have caused you to stray away from where you should be at this present moment. And so when we talk about remembering, this is something you must put in your mind, your heart mind, and your head mind, that you are not here to learn. You're here to remember who you are. And for this experience, for this journey, the journey that you're taking is a journey that you've been equipped. I don't care how bad it's been. I don't care how bad it may get. You're equipped for it. When you know you have the solution, you have no problem. When you know that when you remember that you're equipped for it and that God is walking in you and that he's speaking to you and he's giving you directions and steps to take through this situation. The powerful thing is when you say, I'm going through, that means it's a passageway. That means you're not staying. That means you're in the trance, going across, through, and beyond. It means that you have reached the stage that this is a temporary situation, but you have a permanent fixation of who you are. So as we begin to motivate you and we begin to charge you with this awesome task that God has given you to motivate you to be a massive conception in a world that seems like it's dying. This is not a competition between God and the devil. What? Then you would say God, the devil, and that's the mental disorder, is greater than the God mind. This is not a competition between demons and angels. This is a journey that you're taking. And all of those things you may face, but you face them in your memory and knowing that you are the greatest version of who God created for this moment, such a time as this, for such a time as this. I know some of you thought you weren't going to make it through COVID-19, but here you are because you are supposed to make it. You're supposed to overcome the things that tries to come over you. You're supposed to make it. You're supposed to be great. You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to have prosperity, health, and wealth. You're supposed to have your own business. You're supposed to create ways that nobody else has ever done. You are an awesome star in this place. And as you remember that, you start to face your day in a different way. You start to perceive things totally different. The problem may not change, but how you perceive it will change when you remember. Remember, we're not here to learn. We're here to remember, to return back to our membership with God, our family legacy, our birthright, our inheritance. We are there to get our nationality back, to know who we are. Again, I keep telling you, it's not so much about color, but about your content, how great you are. Remember, fear is the absence of love. So when people fear you, they can't love you because they fear you because you're so great. Nobody fears something that's not going to harm them or hurt them. We got to get that. We have to get that concept. And then it takes us away from the focus of always thinking about racism. Is it real? This is real as you believe it. But we must come to a different mindset because the way we've been approaching this situation hasn't been working. And so there must be something great that we must get in our mindset to be able to go forth and apply the power that we have within ourselves. And so when you sit down in your meditation and just say, Lord, give me the wisdom of my memory. Help me to remember what they tried to make me forget that I had forgotten. Help me to walk in this place in faith that I've been called out to do. I'm so prepared. And you must tell yourself, I am so prepared for whatever I got to face today. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get troubled, worried. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not because I am, I am Christ a check that will always, let me tell you, always be cash. It's never a deficit. You know, we are in the greatest form that the supply is greater than the demand. You'll get that sometime next week. The supply, what God has supplied in this day, is greater than your demand, which means you have new mercies today. Every day we get new mercy. You can use all your mercies up because tomorrow you will get some more mercy. So don't be afraid to tap into your mercies. Don't be afraid to tap into who you are. You're greater than you think you are. But as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you're thinking fear in that low frequency, that's what you're going to attract. Because whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. So you have to come in your day with the highest version of frequency, which is love. And no matter what people do to you, know that they have a fear of you. Ooh, that's good in the neighborhood. No matter what people do to you, whether it's your boss, your friend, your husband, your wife, your children, they have a fear of who you are. Remember when Jesus on the cross, he said, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. They know not. They're not in the now of what they're doing. They don't know who I am. They don't know me, but they fear me because they sense the energy around me. That is powerful. I am is your greatest, most powerful two words that you can use. So in the morning, you can have some affirmation and you can say, I'm strong. I am powerful. I'm equipped for this day. I am ready. I am motivated. I am at my highest frequency of energy. I am in an unconditional love. I am free. I am not a slave. Woo. As you begin to do that, you stop using the Lord's name. The moment you say, I'm not good enough, you're using the Lord's name in vain. Because he has given you this place and space to operate as you go through this life experience, this journey, as you begin to see yourself more clearly, as you begin to look at the man or the woman in the mirror, and you begin to see beyond this, and you look deep into your eye, and you begin to see your soul, and you begin to see the light that surrounds your soul. Have you ever just taken a few minutes to just look in the mirror and look into your eyes? Don't look at your face, don't look at your hair, your ears, or lips, or nose. Just look into your eyes and see, and you will begin to remember who I am or who you are. And as we face today, remind yourself, I'm not normal. I am not normal. I'm a God being, and I'm walking in God's imagination. I'm walking in his unlimited power. Today has been prepared, and so I am prepared for today. I always tell you, create your day. Don't let your day create you. And if you wake up with that mental equation that I'm going to add, subtract, divide, and multiply whatever I face today. If I need to add something, I'm going to add. If I need to subtract something or somebody, I'm going to subtract. If I need to multiply this situation, I'm going to multiply. If I need to divide this is important and this not, I'm going to do it. That is your mental equation. Telling you now, work with your memory. Some of us have spiritually forgot who we were. We've been hit in the head and we got amnesia. Or we have all of these things at our hand and we're not using it, at our availability and we're not using it. Now, as you begin to face your day, as you begin to create your day, as you begin to ignite your energy, as you begin to remember who you are, you will face each day no matter what trouble comes. God says you're going to have tribulation. But he says, well, I always provide a way of escape. So nothing that we're dealing with now, no matter how hard it is, there is a way of escape. It's a polarity. There's always an opposite. Never think that you're in something that you can't get out of. All you have to do is remember. As you begin to remember, you begin to perceive from your inner eye, insight, intuition. You'll begin to perceive in your heart the faith that God is giving you. Shouldn't just be now a grain or a seed of faith. It should now have grown. It should have been rooted, grounded, and grown into something great. Yes, 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 yes. You must tell yourself, I remember. I remember that I'm great. So in today's Michelleology Evolution Meditation, I'm taking you on the journey of your memory. As you begin to remember what God has planted in you, what God has sown in you, then you will be able to face your life, your situation, whatever comes your way. I know some of you saying, well, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I'm going through. But the key is you're going through. You're in the trance. Yes, I am so glad you joined me today because listen, this word, and you must listen to it again. You must hear it with your heart. In the middle of your heart is an ear, Heart. You must hear it with your heart and manifest it in your heart and then line it up with your head. And then you're going to walk in your day and you'll be smiling and people won't even know why you're smiling, but you'll know because you're walking in the now. You're walking in the present moment. You're walking in the right here, now, there, present moment. Yes. And as we begin to end this session, I still want to ask you, and my new writings are out. It's called Me Mental Equations. Just talk about the mental equations of adding, subtracting, dividing, multiply. Please go to Amazon and not purchase, invest in the writing. It is a easy read. It's only about 40 pages, but it is writings that conversations that God and I have. There are no chapters, there are no page numbers. It is just free. Don't read it, study. Because God is going to give you revelation on what I have written, just as He does in the Bible. See, the Bible is not a book you should read, it's a study Bible. And it gives you revelations for your own life, for your own situation. So please invest in me, the mental equation, and I would appreciate it so much because it is going to bless your life. It's going to revelate your life. It is going to send you into your greatest version of you. And that is a blessing to me. So, listen, as we go forth in the day, we're going with our eye open, not eyes. We're going with our eye open and our ear open, not ears, but we're going in so we'll never be without. And you must remember that. As you begin to remember that we're working from, this is an inside job. We're working from the inside out. You will find and define yourself in the greatest version of you. Awaken, enlighten. You are God being. You're not just a human being. You are a multi-dimensional being. Flesh, soul, spirit. And when you operate in your greatest version of all three of those realms, like the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, we awesome. We are awesome. So No matter whatever you face today, remember you are equipped for it. Well, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator and your spiritual evolutionist on this today's Michelleology Innovation. Remember, invest in my book on Amazon.com as me, acronym, mental equation. Well, remember you've been created by the creator to be creative, so start creating your creation today and stop duplicating all them other folks' stuff. And remember that may the power, love, joy, your sound mindedness be your soul food for today. Thank you, Haps TV. Thank you, for subscribing. Thank you for being the greatest version of yourself. And as we begin to do that, we're going to move in everything that God has given us. So be blessed.